Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Zoo Southern Vines. We are hanging out with our Galapagos giant tortoises just for a moment right here. They're adorable. Oh no, we have a disease. Let's take care of this real quick. Oh, whoa. These guys are, oh my goodness. Okay. Falling to pieces. That's not good. Undiagnosed. All right, so we are gonna get another keeper simply because all of them being hungry and one of them being sick. I think that calls for more hands on deck. Uh, repairs to do and this stuff. But for the most part, today we are going to be focused on this area right here that we set up a while ago. This little guest plaza. I've been playing around with it for a little bit, just trying to figure out how I want these buildings to look. And I'm gonna do a little something to this set right over here with the Missy Good 1 and Pip Shot Juice. And of course they're 1 because they're the only ones that we have. So I am gonna go right into a time lapse here at the beginning, take care of the building shell around these guys, and then we will come back and I don't know. We'll either keep doing this or we'll take a look at some more animals or exhibits. But I'll see you in just a minute.
Hello, it is Hot Snake from the future here. Today I'm going to be walking you through our time lapse and just to tell you guys a little bit about my thought process. So like I said, I did take a look at stuff before recording just to have some sort of idea, and I decided to go with the New World walls. I believe that's where they're from. I just think the color scheme is really pretty, and I think it fits in nicely. That bamboo was originally going to be the underneath of this nice thatch roof, and then I added this little addition, which I noticed had a really cool underneath. So I went ahead and added that all around because it also adds just like a second little layer of thatch around the edge, and I thought that looked really cool. If you can see how this wall is deleted, it's because when I move the camera around, I will right click and accidentally delete stuff. Constantly. It happened so much during this build. But we're just getting in some bamboo, and the bamboo is from the South America pack, which I wanted to use a decent amount of since we are in South America and we've got the South American animals. A lot of the other building materials I wasn't vibing with that much in this build, but the bamboo we do try to get in a decent amount. And I wanted the build to not just be one single rectangle with an awning. So I added that little addition that you can see here on the side. And I actually do something pretty cool with it later on that we'll see. But yeah, I'm just going through and adding bamboo along all of the corners. Eventually I will go through and add them along the base as well. Another South American bamboo item is this little cut bamboo fence, which is really cool. It is kind of frustrating that it's not fully circular. Like, you can see that even though the design is circular bamboo, the shape of the item itself is square, which is kind of frustrating. It lends to having some weird like glitching through other objects and stuff. But this section coming out of the side of the building, I think is my favorite. What we end up doing with it is really cool. I personally think. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which frame I want to use, because some of the habitat education boards actually do just kind of fit over the shop windows nice enough that you can't really tell. So I was debating doing that, but I did end up going with a New World frame again, I think. Just copying that over. I tried to move the guests so I could get a better view, but apparently when they are in line, you cannot move them. So that's a thing. This is where I was trying to figure out how to trim the whole building, because having it just sitting on the ground, it doesn't look bad, it just looks unfinished. And I think adding a little bit of a border, trim, baseboard, whatever you want to call it, I think it adds just like a little bit of realism that is cool. Another thing that I am so glad I thought to try was just advanced move the whole building back so that we could have this nice little like double path as like a queue line, I guess. I think it looks cool, and I think it makes the bamboo posts up front make a little bit more sense. They're not just in the middle of the path. So here we are at my favorite part, but also the part that I struggled at the absolute most. I struggled with this so much. That cut right there that you just saw, I had filled it with plants and I was gonna go with it, and then I zoomed out and I absolutely hated it, so deleted everything, and here we are with phase 2 or 3, whatever it is, that I do end up actually going with. Although you'll see I do end up deleting some of the stuff that I'm putting in here now. And I don't know how much sense it makes to have a sapling underneath a roof, but you know, it is still a video game. We don't have to be fully realistic, and I think it looks nice in there. I haven't used that tree before, and I'm not sure what it is, but it has really cool, like, darker leaves. I don't know, it's very pretty. I like it. I don't know how many times I had to turn align to surface on and off in this build, specifically with these plants. This caused me way more grief than I was expecting. As you can see right there, deleting stuff by accident. And here, I thought about playing with these baskets that actually come in the Africa theme research, which we happened to be doing because there's not much else left for our mechanics to research. But I'm deciding to put 3 of them in here just to fill that space from the top instead of with more green from the bottom. And I did something a little bit weird with rope, where I had to have it go past the pots rope and like fully into the pot so that it wouldn't stick out of the roof. But I do think that we ended up hiding that fairly nicely with plants in just a minute. But I think that looks super neat, and I think it's I don't know, I just think it's an interesting way to fill space, because it is a zoo, and if you think about zoos, like they use space very effectively. They have to. I mean, you have a whole bunch of animals, in a city and stuff. Like, you have to be smart about what you're doing and stuff. But even like in small details, like just the use of space is an important thing, I think. So I tried this with a flower at first, which isn't horrible except for that rope that's coming down. So I got this little spiky plant instead, doubled it up, kind of made it look like, one of those double spiky cactus, and then decided, well, maybe I can do that same thing to cover, the rope in the middle basket, which I'll get to in just a second right now. I love this purple plant so much. I think it's really pretty, and it's just so like saturated in color. And then I added the little ferns. I put like 3 in here just to make it look really lush, and I debated putting that plant in all of the baskets, but it was just too much green from top to bottom, which is why I actually am going through right now to get rid of some of the purple. It took me a while to select that guy. Since we have that purple right in the center in the basket, I kind of liked that being like the big pop of color. So just going in with this bush or ground coverage, whatever it is. I like that one a lot. However, I like to sink them into the ground a little bit, and it just gets very geometric. Like it loses its freeform shape a bit and becomes like very square or very star-like. But here is pretty much the finished product. We just have to go around and, like I said earlier, add in the bamboo border. And this is where I realized that not everything was like fully aligned, or I don't know, something was. I think it's the bamboo pillars along the side. They're not perfectly lined up, so when I drag the bamboo along the bottom, I can't just drag it and go. Like I have to adjust each one, which is fine, but yeah, this took way longer than I expected. But I do really love the finished product. So let's get in and see what it ends up looking like.
All right, everybody, I am back. As you can see, I did do a little bit of work off camera. I was struggling with this build way more than I thought it would. It took way longer than expected. And then I was reviewing the footage and looking back, and I don't know. I do really love how this building turned out, though. Let's take a look. So I did end up changing the basket color. I like this really pale. I think that looks really nice. And I added in some railing, I guess, just to differentiate the lines. The guests don't need it, but whoa. But I think it looks nicer. I think it adds some more substance. I'm fairly certain that this build is done. I think this section right here is how it is going to stay. So we can get in here. Here's the little flower plant area. I went back and forth on this a lot. I'm pretty sure I had a whole different setup at the beginning, and I'm pretty sure I cut that out. But I spent so much time just trying to figure this out and get like the heights right. But I think if we look at it, I think that looks great. And I doubled up this plant and this plant just to hide the rope coming past into the plant. Just a little bit. And I like it. It gives it some more depth and height. And then I tripled up these plants to make it look like a big hanging fern. Here is this side. So we've got a bamboo border along the whole thing. Thatch roof. I really love how this looks underneath. But I like it. Having this here makes me dislike this a little bit less. I still don't know if I'm going to keep it or if we'll do something just a little bit, with a little bit more oomph. I like popping balloons. Yeah, yeah, and then what I'm thinking is we'll move this over here. Yeah, we'll move the info center over here by the merch, and then we'll just make sure that it's centered. Add in a second toilet right here just for the symmetry. And then we'll do buildings that are similar to this, but they're not going to be the same. They're going to be different shapes and stuff, but the same vibe, the same materials. And I think that's going to look really cool. And then with this space free, we can do a bunch of statue or a water fountain or who knows what. Maybe I'll figure if the pathing system isn't being too much of a headache, maybe I'll just path this whole thing. And then it can just be a really large area for tables and chairs and stuff. Because as it is now, tables and chairs would have to go along this, which is just, I feel like it's just too much in the walkway. Personally, I think. But yeah, let's do a little bit of just do a little bit of zoo maintenance to end out this episode. We have some mechanic research. What are we researching? Africa theme? Okay. I think at this point, the only things to research are themes. Yeah. And I mean, if we can, we might as well just research everything. We've got our tree frog being researched. After that, we just need the anaconda and the titan beetle. Oh, and the tarantula. And actually, how are these guys doing? I gotta figure out how I want this whole section to look. It's a big block of just boring buildings. We definitely need some sort of shell over it. Let's see. Social health. Whoa, okay. They're good. Oh, get rid of some of them and some of them. What's wrong with you? You're expecting offspring, but why is that the alert? Okay, so as per usual, we got more. But per usual, we have some little bug friends to get rid of. Just multiply and multiply. And frogs aren't bugs, but you know, same thing. We got a lot of them. And the titan beetle. So what I think is funny about the titan beetles is you will have so many of them sometimes, and then just really without you noticing, they will all die. And you'll just have an empty exhibit. You won't have any beetles. And what happened there? And normally I don't realize until I think about it. I'm like, you know what? I haven't had to clear the titan beetles out for a minute. It's, yes, they've all passed away long ago. Unfortunately. But just something to like. One thing that did happen during. One thing that did happen during that time lapse was one of our original peers, Mr. Yoli. He died of old age. So right now, it's just Cadillac and Montezuma, who actually, I think Montezuma has grown up. Yes, and so while this is fine because we just have one male and one female, Montezuma is Cadillac's kid. So if they were to mate, that would be inbreeding, and that's not good. So I think, hang on, let me try to remember. So the tapirs are endangered, and I think I said that endangered and worse, I was gonna release to the wild. Yes, just had to remember. So Montezuma, we are gonna release you and your awesome name to the wild. There you go. So now we need a male here. Right about there. Oop. Cool. There we go. And let's see. This one? This one. Oh. Wow. They're not fantastic. This one is more average, I guess, just across the board. We'll get him. And send him over to quarantine just to be checked out before we put him in the habitat. What now do we need? Ah, there's the other. Or not. Hello. Oh, I guess it was. Oh. I guess the male died as soon as born. Okay, so we need male yellow anaconda. Okay. Right here or right here? Let's do this one. And the exhibit animals you don't have to quarantine. That's kind of funny. Because I don't know about insects, but snakes can definitely and I saw something. They're fine with those. Tortoises are perfect. Alright, anteater. Little Edvaldo. He's getting up there. 3.6 years. Trapped in a llamas. 2 of these. 3 of these. 2 of these. We need female red-eyed tree frog. Are you good? Are you? Do this. Go. And we'll go to. Oh, not sent to zoo. Great. Here we go. All right. So, welfare looks good. Oh, I do think we got a little bit of the red-eyed tree frog research done. Yes, we have a little bit of that for them. Actually, yeah, we need to research the rest of our people, the rest of our guys here. They don't have, oh wait, no, this one. They don't have any decorations, some of them. So, this was quarantine passed. Now we can move in our new resident. And I think... Ooh, actually, I had to hire some new staff. If you have got any more names, throw them my way because I think that's super fun. I love that our vet is named Action. Fantastic. All right, so next episode we will either keep working on this, maybe finish it, maybe not, who knows, or we'll get in a new animal, or maybe we'll do transport ride? Question mark? I'm not sure. But let's ignore that right now. Let's get full view. Not perfect. Oh, there we go. That is beautiful. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. I have been Hot Snake, and I will see you in the next episode.